The episode 9 trailer just dropped, and there's a lot to unpack here. The circus looks dark and destroyed, nothing like the colorful world. The episode 9 trailer just dropped, and there's a lot to unpack here. The circus looks dark and destroyed, nothing like the colorful world we've seen before. The whole cast looks shocked and lost after everything that happened with Kane. You can hear some voice lines in the trailer, and they all sound scared. Nobody knows what to do next. We finally get a proper look at Ribbit. There's a scene that looks like a flashback where Ribbit and Jax are sitting outside looking at the stars, which seems to parallel the stargazing adventure from episode 5. Speaking of Jax, he's everywhere in this trailer. Dramatic shots, dark lighting, weird expressions. A lot of people think this means Jax might abstract. He's been emotionally detached the entire series. If anyone's going to break, it could be him. But honestly, it feels too obvious. A few days before the trailer dropped, rumors started circulating and other distributors shared a poster where Jax appears multiple times. It's not confirmed if that's the official poster, but everything points to yes. The marketing is pushing Jax hard, which makes me think it's a red herring. We also see Gangle and Zooble still sticking together. Gangle is wearing that same mask from episode 4, and Kinger still has the bucket on his head, looking worried about everything that's happening. Pomni is still the main character. She wants out more than anyone. If someone's going to discover the truth, it's her. The ending could go several ways. She escapes, she accepts she can't escape, or the system resets and everyone forgets. There are also scenes that don't look like the present. Different framing, different colors. These could be flashbacks, maybe even the origin of the digital circus itself. If the finale shows us who built this world and why people keep getting trapped here, that changes everything. One thing that stands out, Kane doesn't appear anywhere in this trailer. After what happened in episode 8, the question is obvious. Will he come back? Now, for the release details. Episode 9 drops June 19th, 2022, but here's the crazier part. Episode 9 alone is confirmed to be 1 hour long, and in theaters, you can watch episodes 8 and 9 together, which means over an hour of content in the US, Canada, Latin America, and Japan. A YouTube animated series getting a theatrical release in I just want answers, and I know you do too. The episode 9 trailer. Jax has always been the most chaotic. The trailer dropped, and honestly, I had to rewatch it a few times just to process what I was seeing. Jax is The episode 9 trailer just dropped. The episode 9 trailer just dropped, and there's a lot to unpack here. The trailer dropped, and honestly, I had to rewatch it a few times just to process what I was seeing. Jax is everywhere. He's in the thumbnail, he's front and center on the theatrical poster, and the most emotionally charged moments in the trailer, they belong to him. There's this one frame where you can barely see his face, just his mouth and shoulders covered in shadow, and his expression is genuinely sad. That's not the Jax we know. And then, there's another shot. Jax standing in what looks like a void with TV static flickering around him. Jax has always been the most chaotic character in the amazing digital circus. The one who laughs at everything and never takes anything seriously. But if you pay attention, something feels off, because while everyone else is breaking down, Jax just keeps smiling, pushing things further, acting like nothing affects him, or like he doesn't want it to. Throughout the series, there are brief moments where that mask slips, where the smile fades, and for a second, Jax looks like someone who's about to lose it. In this video, We're going through every single one of those moments, every time Jax is about to be abstracted. The first thing worth understanding about Jax is that his behavior was never random. From the very first episode, he presents himself as the person who has everything under control, the one who finds everything funny, the one who is always one step ahead of whatever chaos is unfolding around him. He is sarcastic, manipulative, confident to a degree that reads as almost performative, and genuinely seems to enjoy pushing people into uncomfortable situations for no reason other than his own entertainment. You might look at all of that and think, that is just who he is. And for a while, the show almost lets you believe that. But the more you watch, the more you notice something underneath all of it. He never lets himself be vulnerable, not even for a second. He deflects emotional moments with jokes, he leaves the room when things get too real, and when he is alone, his body language shifts in a way that is hard to explain except to say that it does not match the person he is when everyone else is watching. In the world of the digital circus, losing your grip on reality means abstracting, and Jax, more than anyone else in the group, is playing with that fire constantly. The early episodes do not give us a single dramatic breakdown moment for him. And I think that is actually one of the more interesting choices the show makes, because the early episodes are not quiet about the fact that something is wrong. They are just quiet about what it is. He exposes himself to more chaos than anyone else. He processes none of it emotionally, and he uses cruelty as a tool to keep people at exactly the distance where they cannot see what is happening to him. Those are not the behaviors of someone who is fine. They are the behaviors of someone who has been managing something very heavy for a very long time, and who has gotten very good at making it invisible. Episode 6 is where the first real crack opens up, and it opens in a way that is easy to miss if you are not paying attention to his face rather than his words. During the shooting game, when only Pomni and Jax are left, she sets up a moment where one of them is supposed to betray the other, playing along with the game's logic. Jax responds completely casually, telling her to go ahead and betray him, which lands as another one of his deflections, another way of saying that none of this matters and that they were never really on the same side. Pomni, genuinely frustrated by that point, asks him whether he thinks that attitude is part of why people around him abstract. And here's the part that I find genuinely fascinating. Jax loses his composure. Not dramatically, not in a way that he cannot recover from quickly, but for one moment he raises his voice and says,
"Oh my God! Are you seriously gonna blame me for something that everybody else did too? You didn't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around. Like at all! You..."
And then he stops, catches himself, and the smirk comes back, like a door closing. That stop is everything, because that reaction is not the response of someone who does not care about the question. It is the response of someone who has thought about that question before, possibly a lot, and who is not prepared to have it asked out loud by someone standing right in front of him. Then Pomni asks what he would do if she abstracted tomorrow, and he answers without missing a beat. He would move on and probably forget about her. She reacts physically, attacking him, biting his leg, throwing things at him, asking him to fight back, and he does not. When she asks why, he gives her the cruelest possible explanation, that he never cared about her or anyone in the circus, that they are his toys, that he enjoys making them suffer, and that if he spent time with her, it was specifically to make this moment hurt more. There is a lot to unpack in that speech, but the thing I keep coming back to is how carefully constructed it is. It is too neat. It covers every angle, anticipates every follow-up question, and lands with the precision of something that was prepared rather than felt. And almost immediately after, during the Favorite Character Awards show, Jax sits down in his seat and something starts happening to him that he clearly did not plan for. He gets up, leaves, goes to the bathroom, stands at the sink, and has a full panic attack. Erratic, heavy breathing. His eyes go wrong in the way they do when a character is close to abstracting. It takes him a while to come back down, and nobody in the group sees it happen. That is the whole point. Whatever he just said to Pomni, the cost of saying it was not nothing. Episode 7 has 3 moments for Jax, all different in tone but connected underneath. The first one is almost quiet. The group is at the beach, and Zubul walks up behind him and throws water on him as payback for everything he has done to her. He barely reacts, which is already strange for him. The trailer dropped, and honestly, I had to rewatch it a few times just to process what I was seeing. Jax is everywhere. He's in the thumbnail, he's front and center on the theatrical poster, and the most emotionally charged moments in the trailer, they belong to him. There's this one frame where you can barely see his face, just his mouth and shoulders covered in shadow, and his expression is genuinely sad. That's not the Jax we know. And then there's another shot. Jax standing in what looks like a void with TV static flickering around him against a black background. I keep going back to that image because it feels like it's telling us something about his nature, about what he actually is inside this system. But I'll come back to that in a second, because here's the thing that's been bugging me. There's a moment in the trailer where Jax says,
Now we have nothing.
coming from the guy who spent most of the series acting like none of this matters, like the circus is just a game and everyone else is overreacting. If Jax is finally dropping the act, that changes everything about how we should read his character. Now, maybe you noticed this too, but there's another frame that really caught my attention. Jax is standing in the middle of an empty space, looking up, with a massive shadow looming behind him, and right after that, we cut to Pomni looking absolutely terrified, on the verge of tears. The editing there feels deliberate. It's almost like the trailer is setting up a confrontation between them, or at least putting them on opposite sides of whatever is about to happen. And that brings me to something I've been thinking about for a while. Jax has always had this weird relationship with the fourth wall.
I screw with people and I break the fourth wall.
He's the only character who consistently seems aware that he's in a show. He looks at the camera, he makes comments that feel directed at the audience rather than the other characters. Most people write it off as just his personality. He's the jerk, the troll, the one who doesn't care. But what if that awareness isn't a personality trait? What if it's a clue? Think about it. Jax also has access to things nobody else does. He admitted himself in one episode that he has keys and can get into restricted areas. Why would a regular participant in the circus have that kind of access? Pomni doesn't have it, Ragata doesn't have it, Kinger, who has been there longer than almost anyone, doesn't seem to have it either. So why Jax? Now let me circle back to that static effect I mentioned earlier. Remember that shot of Jax glitching against a black background? If you combine that with his fourth wall breaks and his access to restricted zones, a picture starts forming. Maybe Jax isn't just another trapped human. Maybe he's something else entirely, something closer to the system itself. The fandom has been running with theories about this for a while. Some people think he remembers the real world but chooses to act like nothing matters as a coping mechanism. Others believe he might be able to move freely through the system's architecture, like he has admin privileges nobody else was given. Meanwhile, Pomni is still our girl. She's the one who has been fighting to escape since the pilot, the one who accidentally discovered she could conjure exit doors out of pure desperation. That ability is real, and it's rare. Kaufmo tried something similar before he abstracted, and it didn't end well for him. Pomni's power might be the key to actually getting everyone out. But here's what I can't stop wondering. If Pomni is the one with the power to open doors, and Jax is the one with the keys to every locked room, what happens when those two abilities collide in the finale? The trailer seems to be pushing them towards some kind of reckoning. Pomni looks scared in a way we haven't seen before, and Jax looks serious in a way we definitely haven't seen before. Whether they end up as allies working together or facing off against each other, Episode 9 is clearly built around both of them. So yeah, I genuinely don't know what to expect. Will Jax turn out to be the real protagonist of this whole story? Is Pomni still the one who's going to free everyone from the digital circus? Or is it possible that neither of them can do it alone, that the answer was always both of them together? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Thanks for watching. Drop your theories in the comments because I know you have them, and I want to hear every single one.